Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode I will be doing another edition of relationship advice. I think I might bring these type of episodes back because, lately I've been struggling to think of some like podcast episodes. I don't know if you guys haven't been able to tell, but yeah, it's like I've been trying to like think of some episodes. I'm like, bro, I can't think of nothing. So I'm like, I gotta bring some old stuff back, alright? So anyways, yes, welcome to another edition of relationship advice, where I'll be reading stories off of the subreddit relationship advice, and just overall, just trying to help out people. I actually found, I think it was Jack that from the band Monitor, where he told me about this. So I think he sent me like articles. How am I not joined to this subreddit? That's crazy. All the episodes I did, I haven't. That's wild. I was like, I thought I had been joined this place, but anyways, I remember he sent me some crazy stories, and I was like, oh, I definitely gotta check more of these things out. So, but anyways, this first one, I'm not gonna read it, but it's like pretty much about a wife. She's with her husband, and yeah, he doesn't want kids at the moment. And I guess to give out like a little, I'm not gonna read the story, but I guess to give out advice on that, if you are with somebody that don't want kids, I feel like that's something that you have to know from jump. Like if you want kids and then they're unsure and they don't really, I feel like that they are they want to be in a relationship with you, but they don't want kids. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you're gonna have to figure that out. Like they're gonna have to communicate, be honest with you and all that stuff, because if not, then yeah, I think that it is gonna be an issue when that time does come and you want kids, and they just randomly drop it on you. I don't want kids, and it's like, fam, I've been with you all this time, and all of a sudden now you don't want kids. What kind of mess is that? So, but anyways, yeah, I think that is something that you should know and stuff in the start of the relationship. And this next one, there's like, I want to show my BF my place, but my ex girl. All right, so 25-year-old male, wants to show my BF 23-year-old male my place, but my ex-girlfriend 25 female is not cool with it. Wait, so, okay, so I'm curious about this one. So Velma, my ex, bro, he's dating a Scooby-Doo character. That's crazy. Okay, anyways, so there's like so they're gonna say, so Velma, my ex, and I dated for 6 years. I watched her stepson 5 days a week, and we lived together until she moved out this summer in an in-law apartment off my parents' house. We are supposed to split the rent, but I pay it. It's hardly anything anyways. I just want to have my new BF park here and show him the house. We won't do anything romantic here. I don't want to be rude. She doesn't want him even in the house. Okay, so I was reading it like best friend, but boyfriend. So I think whoever this person is, they're, they going both ways. They dating both men and women. I was confused because I was like, bro, if this is my best friend, I'm like, I was confused by so here's the thing, and it sucks to even come out and say it, but there are people still in this world that ain't so cool with the same-sex relationship stuff. And on top of that, she has a kid, and it's a boy too. Yeah, she probably doesn't want her son seeing that, so that's probably why she's carrying on the way that she's carrying on. So, but I'm gonna continue on reading the rest of it, but I think that's why she's acting that way and stuff. So then he goes on to say that she said, it really makes me uncomfortable to have someone walking around the house I live in with a lot of the items in set home being mine and shown into the bedroom I sleep in. Absolutely not comfortable with that either that. I really shouldn't have to make my boundaries clear or make more lack of consent clear more than once. Y'all are dating. One would think you can wait the 2.5 months before bringing someone in. This is the third time I've tried to have a conversation about it, but I'm not trying to be rude. Velma and I broke up after I caught her flirting with other guys. Oh, well, then I'm like, no, Velma, I'm like, you better go with Shaggy, Scooby, and the rest of the gang and go be trying to solve some mysteries. But I'm like, over here, we chilling at this place. No, that's crazy. Like, that's wild. How is she supposed to have us? That's something where it's like, no, I feel like in a situation like that, you have to cut that person off. You cannot be, still like living or whatever. I guess like I can understand that, trying to find a place to live, it can be hard. But I do feel like in a situation like that, you guys just gotta go your separate ways, because that's why that ended the way it and stuff. And yeah, it's and she's carrying on. Yeah, I do feel like that. I don't know, maybe she's trying to get him back, and that's probably why she's like, well, let me try to separate these guys as much. But I guess like with her reason, she doesn't want people around their things. I'm like, I can understand that too. I can understand that, because I'm like, I guess if I was living with an ex and then they bring in guys over, or girls, whoever, if they're bringing people over and I'm like, I don't know these people, I'm like, I guess I would like to meet them first. But I'm like, yeah, that's something where I'm like, no, I don't know these people. So yeah, I'm like, I would at least like to get to know them, or be able to hide my stuff or take my things with me. That's why you don't be having valuable things around. Like, the only thing they're gonna probably take is a family photo. What's free? Maybe some 0-calorie energy. No, I'm saying, let's stay away from my energy drinks. All right, my food, my energy drinks, and what else? And my gaming equipment. If I come back and a PlayStation, Xbox, PC, monitor, keyboard, bro, I don't even care if it's the mouse pad. If something is missing, we got a box. I'm like, nah, I'm saying, you go over to any store of your choosing, get you some boxing gloves. I'm using bare knuckles, but no, we got a box. I'm like, that's something where I'm like, no, we got to talk about that. All right. So, but anyways, next one. So it goes on to say, should I, 43-year-old female, get on a plane tomorrow and leave my 42-year-old husband? Ooh. Okay, dang, this is a long one too. Okay, let's just read it anyways. To be brief as possible, my husband and I have been together 20 years, married 10. He's a great guy in a lot of ways, and I know he loves me very much, but he's always had a lot of anger outbursts, childhood damage. In the last 2 years, it's gotten worse. Just to bullet point, he is a major pothead, and he won't quit no matter what I say. 2 years ago, he got into a major fight with his brother. It turned physical, and now they aren't in contact and won't be. This is really hard on him. He wasn't talking to his sister, but now they've made up, and he is turning into a saint/role model, and he's putting her ahead of everything, including leaving me in the bed to go talk to her for 2 hours. He snuck off and met an old friend who is a woman in her hotel room 2 hours away and didn't tell me. I found out because she posted pictures of him sitting with her and her family in a tourist trap with his arm around her. The history is when we first got together, she had a serious crush on him and tried to break us up. He hasn't seen or spoken to her in 20 years, but she's still calling him her BFF, and he's never introduced us. He said, I didn't tell you because I know you'd get mad. Yeah, stuff like that. You got to tell your significant other. The thing is this. I know people probably would say that, oh, you're being whipped, or try to like make me feel less of a man or whatever because I want to be honest with my significant other. But I'm like, no, I want to be honest with my significant other. So if I say, oh yeah, there's, old friend of mine, had seen them in years, plan on going to meet up with them. The thing is this, because I'm like, look, all right, the amount of times where when you get rejected a bunch of times, when you get friend zoned a bunch of times, whoever you end up in a relationship with, you want to make sure you hold on to that relationship. So that's what mindset I'm in right now. The next relationship I get into, I am holding on to it for dear life. I am having a firmly grasped grip on that, okay, gorilla gripped, like just straight pure gripness on this relationship. But no, like that's something I feel like you have to tell your significant other and things. And yeah, and especially with some stuff like that, I'm like, I definitely would tell her, I'm like, do you want to come with me to ensure nothing doesn't go down, or do you want me to check in? Like, what do you want me to do? Do you not want me to meet up with her? Then I'm like, okay, I would tell her that. I'm like, hey, the missus, she don't really want us hanging out. So yeah, but I'm like, dang, man, that's crazy. So yeah, and then like the other things, like, him being a pothead, like, I guess like that's something that has crossed my mind. Like, what would I do if I was dating a girl that was a pothead? And I'm like, I would bring it up, but I'm like, I don't know, because I'm like, there's a lot of places where it's it's now legal, so I'm like, I can't really have a say so. But I'm like, and and it's one of those things where I'm like, I guess I would bring it up, that I'm like, I don't really particularly care for it. But yeah, if it's like a ongoing thing where it's like, you feel you gotta smoke on every occasion, I'm like, nah, fam. Like, there's some occasion, like, I wouldn't want her to like, oh, I gotta smoke a blunt real quick before I meet your parents. I'm like, no, my parents are chilled. Like, there's nothing to worry about. They're super chill people. You don't have to smoke. But, or like, where it's, yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, nah, you're gonna have to hopefully break that habit. But that's the thing though, where it's like, I don't want to get in the mix of that. So I'm like, I would like to hope and think that she goes and find a pothead boyfriend before she comes to me. But I'm like, she comes to me and then she's like, you don't really smoke. What's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm just not a smoker. I'm like, that's one of my things. All right, I'm sorry, but at the same time, I'm not really sorry and stuff. I just don't care for smoking. But and then then like the fights, and then the sister and stuff. Yeah, I think there's definitely, he needs to go see like therapy or something, before you get on the plane. When did she post this? She posted this 9 hours ago. So I don't know. She might be at that airport, but anyways. I had just kind of seen like the end of it. She says she is packed. All right, let me read the rest of this and stuff. So then she goes on to say, I found out after that he was sexting a woman. Oh, that's crazy. That's your, nah, yeah, I feel like you're gonna have to, yeah, it's going, because I was trying to like, okay, maybe this guy just needs to go see therapy, but I'm like, nah, this man's being secretive. I'm like, nah, that's not cool and stuff. So. But then she goes on to say, I found out after that he was on a BDSM meetup site and had contacted several women, just hello, compliments, because he only had joined 24 hours before. He had posted explicit pics of himself. I think, as like with a man, look, a man, I guess we could take a picture of our butt, but I'm like, I just feel like, a butt ain't really, all that and stuff. I don't know. I've never heard of a man posting, you're sending out butt pics. Like, not to my lady friends. If any of my lady friends told me that a man just sent her a butt pic, and if there was ever a woman that was like, send me a butt pic, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm all like that. But it's the other, it's in the opposite direction of where his butt is at. He was sending those pics. Yeah, no, I think, yeah. Now I'm like, okay, you know what? Nah, there's, you can, if I don't know where you're at, but Seattle, there's some nice spots out here. They did close down the Nike store, so if you're a sneakerhead talking to this person, they don't got that no more. So you're gonna have to, there's some malls that you could go to where they got some sneaker stores. But anyways, then she goes on to say that he is a but no, hold on for a second, because I'm like, why is he on like this meetup website, because for those that don't know what that is, the BDSM, that's like when people, they be liking to wear like a lot of black, and they be having like chains and whips and stuff, and they just start hitting you for no reason. That's a lifestyle that I just cannot get with. I'm like, nah, if I ever meet a girl and she says that she's into that stuff, and she pulls out like some things talking about, oh, I want to whip you, I'm like, look, I'm like, my ancestors, they fought, so I will not have to deal with that. I'm not going through that lifestyle for fun. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but no. I'm like, you can, I'm not, I don't even want to be in a relationship if you're going to be doing stuff like that. So we could be friends, and if that's just between you, that's between you. But I'm like, if that's what you into, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not into that. So I'm like, as soon as you whip me, I feel like my ancestors gonna pop up and they gonna drop kick you. So that's something where I'm like, I ain't with that. So, but then anyway, she goes on to say, he is a contractor, makes really good money. He stopped working 8 months ago, and even though he could have gotten the job easily, he didn't. I was supporting us, but we also took a few trips to try and shake the mood off, and one was our big anniversary trip. bought a car, so we basically blew through a huge chunk of our savings with the idea he was going to replace it easily, though. Oh wow, so yeah, dang, he's spending money. Yeah, that's crazy. So anyways, and then she goes on to say, so now that his sister has come back to being his most important person, he has been leaving me whenever we have a fight to go to her. We had an argument a couple of months ago when I told him that I was in a really dark place and needed him. He left the day after to go to her house for 5 days. He threatened the same thing a few times since basically whenever I do anything he doesn't like, he threatens to go to her house for the week. That's crazy. Your wife is in a dark spot and you're all like, oh, well, I just don't know how I would expect her to react to that. Like if that was me, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to my sister's place because I can't be around you if you're in a dark spot. That's crazy. I'm like, here it is. She's trying her best to support him, during his dark times, but then he's turning around and he's leaving her during her. That's crazy. So then she goes on to say, well, I find out this week he screwed up with the invoice. So even though he's been back to work for a month now, his paycheck might not come for 30 days. Oh, wow. I asked what was going on. He was evasive and told me to watch my tone. I know he was working. He works from home like I do, and I've heard his calls and seen the company laptop. This weekend was supposed to be my birthday weekend. We had fun plans to go out and do a few birthday things. I was excited, so was he. I told him all I wanted was some Molly, which is a very occasional thing for us, and for us to try and get a good place together. He didn't get it. After the it's a lot of stuff that after this, because I'm like, nah, I'm trying to make me something to eat and stuff. So I didn't realize how long this was gonna be and stuff. So then she was like, after the fight so after the fight about the invoice on Wednesday, I went and slept in the guest room the next day. We both worked in the morning. I asked him around noon if he wanted some lunch. He said no, all snippy. So I left him alone for the rest of the day and slept in the guest room again. Yesterday, he tells me that he's leaving to spend the weekend at his sister's. I asked him not to go. He packs. I tell him I don't want him to go. He says I've ignored him for days and he isn't spending the weekend like that, and he leaves. I say go and I'm leaving to my mom. See, that's the thing where it's like, okay, if you're being weird towards her, how do you expect her to not be weird towards you? So it's like if she just asks you, hey, do you want lunch? I feel like that's kind of like, all right, like, hey, is everything okay? And then, like if you're saying like, no, I'm like, no, I don't want lunch. And it's like, okay, then that's pretty much your way of saying, no, everything is not okay. So if she came in calm and you came out hostile, yeah, it's like, of course she's going to be, wanting to leave and all this other stuff. So yeah, it's like that's something that's crazy. But anyways, then she goes on to say, I decided after the last time this is not going to be a pattern. I was going to let him run to his sisters and leave me hanging every time I say something he doesn't like. As soon as he leaves, I called boss and then my mom. Both were cool. Booked a flight. Leaves tomorrow at noon. Oh wow, dang. I texted him and told him. He says, WTF, I'll see you Monday. I told him he wouldn't, and to be home Sunday night for the pets or call friends to do it. We went back and forth. He told me not to go after telling me not to go. He told me not to go after telling me to go. He was glad. I unpacked. I don't know what to do. It's a one-way ticket. I was planning to stay at least a month, maybe forever. Okay. So then it was like, all right. So she goes on, puts an update. So like, update. Hey, OP here, original poster for those that don't know what OP is. Thank you all so much for the comments and support. You have been incredibly helpful and understanding. I'm packed and ready to go. It's 8 p.m. here now, and I halfway expected he might come home and try and work things out, but he hasn't yet. He probably thinks that she's just joking around. Like it's funny because there's an episode of Martin where it kind of goes like that, where like the main character, one of the main characters, she left, and then Martin was, he had to like, but they wasn't married, they were in a relationship. I feel like a married couple, you doing some stuff like that. She leaves, it's like, bruh, she might not come back, especially if this has been an ongoing pattern, and it's like she already seen what marriage was like. So yeah, that's something where it's like, nah, homie, you messing up. But anyways, so then so she was like, I just wanted to let everyone know that the pets are going to be fine. We have one cat, one dog, and both of them are very, very bonded very, very bonded to both of us. He takes excellent care of both of them. He loves them as much as I do. The dog is most certainly his. She adores him, vice versa. The cat, to be honest, is more into me, but she loves him, and he will give her cuddles and food, everything else. It's difficult to express what you want to hear in a few words, but I will say he's not at all a horrible person. I think he saw too much as a kid, and because he's overly sensitive, he gets angry and aggressive, but he got a lot of good qualities. No matter what he's done to me, he's not dangerous. I'm not worried he will harm the pets or any of the possessions left behind. I'm not defending him. He did what he did, and it's none of it good. But I just like to put everyone's mind at ease that no harm will be done. See, that's the thing though, where I'm like, I don't trust it. I'm like, that man might go crazy. That's something where I'm like, yeah, keep an eye on him though. Like, just wherever you do go to, sleep with one eye open, because you never know what this man might be capable of. It's like all of a sudden he just do a full 360 snap, gone crazy. Yeah, so then she goes on to say, again, thanks to everyone who has reached out. I genuinely appreciate everything you have taken time to write. It's been massively supportive and helpful. Yeah, with a situation like that, it's just, it's best to leave. I'm like, it's just recently, it's like I not in a situation like hers, but no, there was a friend that I had to cut off because I was like, it's just not working out. So at times, you just got to cut people off, and if they at some point in time, like if your guys' paths cross, then okay, cool. But if not, then it's one of those things where it's like, you got to move on, and it's like, wish them the best in life, and then move on with your life and stuff. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. I ain't gonna do no promo stuff because I'm trying to hurry up and make my food. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.